Welcome to the Cave Hill Woodlines track. This little outback adventure is an easy long weekend from Perth, or a weekender if you live out Coolgardie way. Coolgardie or Hyden are your last stops for fuel and provisions before swapping tarmac for golden soil, where the adventure begins. Whichever way you come from, the Holland Track and Cave Hill Woodlines guidebook has you covered, with waypoints and trip notes to suit either direction of travel. Available at most four-wheel drive shops or online at westernfourwheeldriver.com.au, you'll get a turn-by-turn run-through of the track, complete with historic images and a wealth of information describing how the area was used, both by Aboriginal people and European settlers. Coming in from Hyden, you're faced with about 200 kilometres of gravel road before you reach the start of the track, which is marked with an old car roof, the words Cave Hill sprayed upon it. The track is an easy-going, high-range four-wheel drive cruise through beautiful gimlet and salmon gums. Their leaves shine through an afternoon sunlight, and trunks seemingly blend as one into the soil, which ranges from beige sand to rich ochre earth. You'll cross over the edge of a few granite outcrops, where if you look closely, you'll begin to see evidence of woodcutters' camps. Old tobacco tins, bottles, kerosene cans, even original survey markers can be found along here. It is estimated that the Coolgardie goldfields consumed 350,000 tonnes of firewood a year for cooking, heating and firing steam-powered trains, pumps, winders, crushers and generators. One of three companies responsible for wood-cutting operations in the goldfields was the West Australian Goldfields Firewood Supply, who operated from 1899 to 1964. One very obvious reminder of their presence here is the still remaining railway embankments, which you'll actually spend a fair bit of time driving along. To pull this much wood out of the area, train lines were constantly being laid to keep the haul train within economical distance of the axemen cutting the wood. As you soak up the serenity of Cave Hill, just imagine for a moment the enormity of these cutting operations. The area surrounding Cave Hill had been completely cut for firewood to a radius between 25 and 35 kilometres. It would have looked bare as far as the eye can see. Eventually, cutting further would become uneconomical, at which point it was time to move on. The men would pile their buildings, sawmills, their entire infrastructure onto the train and move camp, picking up the steel rail and taking that with them too. Looking over it today, the bushland is almost completely regenerated, a sight to behold. Cave Hill itself, just like Burra Rock and the other granite outcrops in the region, were invaluable in the success of the woodcutters. On each of these tracks you'll see man-made dams. Water is almost harder to come by than gold out here, and it was needed not only to water the people and animals, but to power the steam trains, which would collect wood twice a day in some places. While some of these dams were natural pools for water, their capacity was increased by lighting enormous fires on the rock, then dousing the superheated rock with water. The resulting cracked granite was dragged around the rock and erected as catchment walls to direct the flow of rainwater around the rock and into the dam. Cave Hill and Burra Rock are two excellent campsites with facilities such as fire rings, picnic tables, and even a toilet at Burra Rock. Of course, the rest of the land is an open canvas for your own private campsite, and wherever you lay the swag or park the camper, you won't be disappointed. Two nights along the Woodlines track will give you plenty of time to take in the country and its history. It's easily achieved with an off-road camper or small off-road caravan in tow. Keep an eye out for washouts and watch the bog holes near Cave Hill. They seem to dry out quickly and won't likely be an issue. Remember to grab your copy of the Holland Track and Cave Hill Woodlines guidebook and ensure you get the most out of this adventure. This and the rest of the Explorer series books can be purchased from most four-wheel drive retailers or online at westernfourwheeldriver.com.au. Now, get out there and explore.